and working. And I enjoy working even more than when I was young.
Imagine turning 100 and confidently saying your mind feels sharper than it did at 20. Sounds unreal, right? Yet, that's exactly what Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini claimed and lived by. She wasn't just talking. This Nobel Prize-winning neuroscientist never truly retired, continuing her work and showing up to the lab well past her 100th birthday. While most people slow down with age, she stayed mentally alert, curious, and deeply engaged with life. In this video, we explore the remarkable life of Dr. Levi-Montalcini, how she lived so long, why her mind stayed so clear, and the powerful lessons her journey offers for anyone who wants to age with strength, purpose, and mental clarity.
The difficulty give a possibility to use it to the best what you have a capacity.
No food, no husband, no regrets. That was how Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini once summed up her approach to life, and while it sounds unusual, it perfectly captured her mindset. It wasn't a slogan or a shock line, it reflected the philosophy of a woman who lived 103 energetic, purposeful years. In Italy, she was lovingly known as the Lady of the Cells, a tribute to her groundbreaking work and lifelong devotion to science. Rita believed in simplicity, eating lightly, living independently, dedicating herself to meaningful work, and never looking back with regret. Even at 100 years old, she spoke with striking confidence, saying that her mind worked better than it had at 20, strengthened by a lifetime of learning and experience. To her, aging wasn't about decline. It was about refinement, clarity, and focus. Now let's take a closer look at how she actually lived the daily lifestyle, habits, and choices that helped Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini reach 103 years of age with clarity, independence, and purpose. Her daily life was far from ordinary, and within that simplicity may lie the clues to how she lived such a long, sharp, and meaningful life. She started her days early. Rita woke up at 5 a.m., believing the morning hours were when the mind was clearest and most powerful. For her, early mornings weren't a chore. They were sacred time for deep thinking and focused work. She never really retired. Even in her 90s and beyond 100, she continued going to the laboratory each morning, guiding research and mentoring young scientists. Her afternoons were often spent at her foundation, helping support African women pursuing careers in science. When asked about the secret to her long life, she answered simply, work. Purposeful work gave her a reason to wake up every day. She ate very lightly. Food was never the center of her life. Rita typically ate one main meal at lunch, and in the evening she kept things minimal, perhaps a small bowl of soup or an orange. She believed heavy eating dulled the mind. Long before intermittent fasting became popular, she was naturally practicing it. She slept less than most. Rita slept about 5 to 6 hours a night, going to bed around 11 p.m. and rising again at 5 a.m. She once joked that sleep simply wasn't a priority. There was too much living and thinking to do. She constantly exercised her mind. Rita believed the brain should be treated like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. She kept her mind sharp by reading, writing, questioning, and tackling complex scientific problems well past the age of 100. She lived with optimism, resilience, and purpose. Stress and negativity, she believed, were toxic to the brain. She chose not to dwell on regrets or worries. As she once said, "I am a woman with no regrets." She never married or had children, yet felt no sense of emptiness. Her life was full of friendships, science, service, and meaning. She encouraged young people to believe in themselves and to always look toward the future. Now picture her routine. At 5 a.m., an elegant 100-year-old scientist rises with purpose. She heads to the lab to guide young researchers, later hosts meetings at her foundation, enjoys a simple evening meal, maybe just an orange, and ends her day reading or reflecting on science until 11 p.m. It was a disciplined life, fueled not by indulgence, but by passion, curiosity, and purpose. And for Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini, clearly worked. She remained mentally sharp and physically capable for more than a century. The Nobel Diet Rule. Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini lived by one clear and powerful rule: eat less, but eat wisely. She believed that overeating speeds up aging, especially in the brain. Heavy meals, constant snacking, and excess calories place stress on the body and dull mental clarity. Instead, she chose a way of eating that was simple, light, and nourishing. Her daily food choices were simple, no complicated diets or fads. Mostly plant-based, vegetables and legumes. Low in calories, just enough, never too much. Rich in protective nutrients, foods that support the brain and cells. And here's the surprising part. She didn't eat superfoods or expensive supplements. She focused on ordinary foods, eaten in small amounts. Just eat this. What she actually ate. Dr. Levi-Montalcini preferred light, nutrient-dense foods that gave the body what it needed without overloading it. 1. Vegetables. Every day, no excuses. She regularly ate leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage, fresh seasonal vegetables. These foods help calm inflammation and reduce oxidative stress, two processes that damage cells and speed up aging. Simply put, vegetables help protect both the body and the brain. 2. Legumes and simple plant proteins. Foods like beans, lentils, chickpeas. These provide steady energy without sharp blood sugar spikes. They also supply amino acids that support brain function and may slow aging pathways linked to hormones like IGF-1, which is associated with faster aging when too high. 3. Small portions. Always. This may have been her most important habit. She believed calorie restraint protects the brain, not starvation, not deprivation. Just knowing when to stop. By eating modest portions, she gave her body time to repair itself instead of constantly digesting food. Modern science now connects this approach to autophagy, the body's natural cell cleanup system, slower aging, lower risk of chronic diseases, including cancer. Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini's life stands as a powerful example of what healthy aging can look like when it is driven by passion, purpose, and perseverance. While most of us may never win a Nobel Prize or live past 100, her story offers lessons that anyone can apply. She believed deeply in staying curious and continuing to learn at every stage of life. No matter your age, reading, thinking, solving problems, and learning new skills keeps the brain alive. As Rita herself said, "The secret of life is to keep thinking." Equally important was her sense of purpose. Rita always had a reason to wake up each morning. Her work, her curiosity, her desire to contribute. Purpose, whether it comes from a career, a hobby, service, or creativity, gives life, energy, and direction at any age. She also refused to let age or regret define her. She never truly retired and never focused on what she could no longer do. Instead, she looked forward, viewing challenges not as setbacks but as chances to grow, and she chose to live without regret. Rita also understood the strong connection between body and mind. She practiced moderation in her diet and believed that eating lightly helped keep the mind clear. While her routine may not suit everyone, the lesson is simple. Avoid excess, eat thoughtfully, and build daily habits that support both mental and physical health. At the same time, she recognized that each person must find a rhythm that works for them. Consistency matters more than copying someone else's routine exactly. Perhaps her most inspiring quality was her resilience. Rita lived through war, discrimination, and hardship, yet she remained optimistic and productive throughout her life. She showed that stress and negativity are not unavoidable. We can choose hope, meaning, and resilience, and in doing so, protect both our health and our spirit. On her 100th birthday, Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini said, "I am not afraid of death. What matters is what we contribute during our lifetime." And her contribution was immense not only to science, but to everyone inspired by her journey. Her life reminds us that aging does not have to mean decline. It can be a time of continued growth, purpose, and impact. So let's take a lesson from Rita's life. Keep your mind engaged, nurture your passions, face challenges with courage, and never tell yourself you are too old to begin something new. At 100, she was still launching new ideas and shaping the future. As she proved, the possibilities at any age are far greater than we imagine.